was having a conversation this morning with my daughter on the way to school, and she was saying a cool soccer move is like a dance move. And so she was making that connection, how art is in everything that we do, how we are all born artists, or at least born with that creative capacity.
Well, the big question is, how does one keep creativity or bring creativity into what we do in our everyday lives?
Creativity is the most important asset of anything you do.
We need to look more creatively at what do we mean by art? What are its broad purposes?
Using the arts, multimedia approach to healing is great. It's a great tool.
We've got artists, architects, fashion designers, bread makers, the art of bread making, the value added.
So there's kind of an ongoing balance about exactly how art supports or doesn't support businesses.
I work with artists on projects. I wouldn't have a business card if it weren't for artists. I mean, it's everything.
The arts motivate, and they encourage entrepreneurial enterprise.
Well, art has always been a part of making chocolates. It's really been a part of Lake Champlain Chocolates ever since its inception. We always had design on our truffles. We always had designs from the chocolates of Vermont originally. And not only in the chocolate making, but also the packaging, because we have been in the gift business as much as the chocolate business. We wanted some way of being different than the other chocolatiers in America.
It's really a reciprocal arrangement between the artists and the business.
We are working for corporations, companies, businesses to get their message across to make their business successful.
Green Mountain Coffee understands the value of art, and so the real question is going forward, what can we do more to allow art to further support the company? Art plays a significant role in the Business Center. I really got to say, of all the projects, and I've built tons of facilities in my day, the one that probably gives me the greatest satisfaction was the day that I could bring senior management over, have them see that video in that center, and realize that here we were finally mingling art with a business story and telling it really well. You could never get that much information across in 4 minutes if you didn't do it artistically.
The arts bring people. You'll find people who will talk about things, who will want to get together after the show at restaurants.
We might be surprised at the order of magnitude that is represented by outside spending for the arts because we have so many people coming here. And if you're coming for a conference or to visit your family, it's not uncommon to say, what's going on? Let's go out.
I went out and bought a guitar after a concert by Gordon Lightfoot.
I didn't need the report to tell me that the arts is big business. It's big business all over the country. The data shows that there were over 4,300 people working in the arts. And this doesn't include movie theaters and a lot of things that are sometimes rolled into that larger group. 4,300 people is a lot of people. In fact, it's more than all the people who are working in food manufacturing or the insurance industry in Vermont. So it's a big deal.
It's just a great way to bring the community together and bring our consumer together to understand who we are.
Agriculture and the art of growing food, if you're talking about young people, that is an area that they, I think, are deeply excited in. And in the local movement and the Grow Local movement. I'd say at the same time, where the arts also connects deeply, is that people respect tradition, they respect history. And another growth curve that I see that is happening is the growth in the interest in history and in historic preservation.
One of the big things we did in Bellows Falls was we renovated an old derelict building, the Exner Block, to create 10 affordable live workspaces for artists at reasonable rates. And that's in the downtown, and it's bringing artists right to the center of downtown so they can participate.
As a legislator, I've supported the creative economy. I've supported fixing up buildings, putting money into downtowns. But you know, all that is artistry.
We do these community art projects every year. We're noted for it. And it has brought, the stores are open again. Just a vitality. When you come to the town, people tell me, I live there so I don't know, but they tell me that they feel a spirit and an energy that they don't feel in other places.
Nothing brings our community together more than the art hop that takes place along Pine Street annually in Burlington.
Oh, the art hop means a lot, not just to Burlington, but to Vermont in general. I think, and more importantly, it's what the art hop means to the people that come here and the people that think about the art hop on a continual basis.
This is the 4th year, I believe, I made a large-scale sculpture for the art hop. I'm a web developer. I build websites and help with the strategic portion of web development. When I'm making art, it revitalizes me.
You know, a festival like this one right here affects everybody that touches it. So you drive through, you walk through, you live in the neighborhood, you get the effect.
This is the one moment every year where a lot of artists get to have a Warhol moment and get to be famous and get to be excited and get to have people adore their work. It's the one time a year where art viewers and end users like myself who buy art get to buy art on a reasonable basis because the art hop doesn't charge a commission, and so all of the money that's raised goes to the artist directly.
It's a huge evening for us here, as well as for many people up and down the street.
It's part of the community, and without it, we'd be a poorer state.
You know, you really can't teach art, you teach people to see.
And from there, we go on to all sorts of discussions about arts education, you know, how that plays out in our children's lives.
Arts education is absolutely imperative to helping students to learn about their world, about themselves, and how to connect those things.
How do the arts support their study of mathematics, physics, science, foreign language?
Connecting three-dimensional experience to two-dimensional representation is fundamental to symbolism. Math is symbolism. Language, written language, is symbolism. So learning that is essential.
Art gets to the heart, and it is the evolution of the heart that gives us our ability to develop our spirit and our soul. Now, these are lofty, but they're not really, because they have everything to do with self-confidence in our children.
It is my good fortune to work with teachers closely on creating effective ways to use drama and movement in the classroom. So I get to see all the time kids who are being taught in a traditional way, and then when we introduce new ideas, they literally come to life in front of my very eyes.
The physical experience of the world by a child is how they formulate their understanding of the world.
Having skills in the arts, whether they are linguistic skills or whether they're visual skills, is going to give them the flexibility to be able to adapt to a rapidly changing workplace, no matter what level that they're working at.
You know, when these kids come out of Vermont with the power to communicate visually and to really make that their messages resonate in a way that goes beyond just words, they can come back and bring their original cultural context to the fore. They can make folks aware about the importance of supporting farms, about buying local and supporting the local business communities.
A vibrant arts community helps them to stay in the state rather than leave the state. Just to cite one example.
We're noted for serenity and beauty and so forth. So this way, we can picture that and keep it going.
As things become more global, we lose something very, very important, very special to us as individuals and as people who grew up in a very close-knit, rural, small community.
I think that translates also into, our basic duty of making sure that Vermonters have a chance to succeed. And I don't think they will succeed unless the purposes and the outcomes of the arts are really fully part of their lives.